As we start off in the bottom right-hand side with the red Terran player. Give it up if you're cheering on Dream. Alright, Dream in the bottom right is our red Terran. And the top left, our blue Terran is TY, taking down Inno. What a series that was, that Inno TY semi-final.
Game paused.
Please pause will be thrown out. So I'm just going to have a pause or so. Looks like we'll resume.
Game resumed.
So, on the top left-hand side, our blue Terran player is TY. Up against red Terran bottom right, Dream. Just do the re-intros as we start this best of 5. And if you're enjoying the stream today, just as we're hitting our grand finals, just take a quick moment or so to say, first of all, again, thank you so much for joining us. Great viewership for that TY Inno series especially. Again, if you really enjoy, do consider subscribing. If you've got Twitch Prime sitting around, it'd be greatly appreciated. And just in general, subs, donations, anything goes a long way to help me keep on casting StarCraft. What was the best game of the day? Honestly, I don't even want to pick. Dream Firefly Game 2 was great. Kua Maru Game 1 was great. Some of the Kua SOS games were stupid. Innovation TY is a series, probably the best series, I think. But Kua Maru Game 1 was really good. I think I'd have to pick that, because that was really, like... That was, like, nothing super crazy. It was just straight-up good macro. Great play on either side. Long game. I think I'd have to pick that one. But honestly, if you wanted to watch something from today, like one thing in particular, we watch all of it. It's been an amazing tournament. And again, more to come in the future. As we do see 2 Reapers and SCV, they're going to head up this ramp and go in after the Reapers over here. So SCV is going to get low. Ooh, 2 Reapers of Dream get a kill. But obviously they're very low, and TY will kill the 2 Reapers in the end. And he's going to get the SCV. In the end as well, a little bit of a kiting away job. But he gets it, so TY wins out by a Reaper. Ooh, but then another Reaper shows up. Nice grenade defensively. Yeah, Reaper or Dream won't do much at all. So TY slightly faster on the expansion. He's already going to go into a 3rd base though. Wow, so super fast 3cc from TY. No second gas taken after the 1 gas expand. Probably because he's gotten rid of 2 of the Reapers already, and he's like, okay, well, I've already defended some of the very early pressure that would be dangerous. Let's go into that 3cc. Gives me a chance to actually just expand fast and get into a lead here, perhaps. So TY looking for an early economic advantage. So lots setting up. Hellion and the Reaper from TY going to go chasing Dream's Reaper away on the top side. So that's probably going to go down in a moment or two, right? As you see, the Reaper is so close. Oh, nice trying to dodge away. It's just a little bit mistimed. It's very hard to do that because obviously you kind of have to run around the other way while your opponent clicks through, and it's very rare that it actually works, I think. As you have the Hellion and the Reaper from TY to move down the bottom side. Hey, Bat Groaning, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Much appreciated. And as you do see, there's Marines, and obviously Reaper and the Hellion will not break through. Dream is on that faster bio setup, and that is something which obviously gave TY a little bit of issue in the previous game with Inno. However, obviously this time TY is on a very fast 3cc, so that gets pretty interesting as well. Hey, also want to shout out, we mentioned Ryan Anini on the $50 donation, also has become a Patreon user, or patron I guess we call those guys, on the WardiTV Patreon for $30 a month. Thank you so much. Can we get some love in the chat for Ryan Anini? Dude, I'm going to give you an extra bonus Christmas tree decoration after this game. You have gone above and beyond the last few days. Thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. If you guys do want to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/WardiTV as well. So yeah, stim pack on either side of this as we get going in the best of 5. Dream will pull a Cyclone back to the high ground. Hellion and TY still just patrolling away in the bunker. Emptied, as he might just go for a push across. He's got the Raven. He doesn't have stim though, and it's so dangerous when stim is done for your opponent. Like, if you get in position with tanks, etc., brilliant. If you don't, well, you could just be caught off and you lose everything. So probably will just sit back. Again, TY has no immediate need to do anything aggressive, right? Because he's got the super fast third base. Yeah, okay, Dream has one as well now, but TY is already up a few workers, moving his out already. We'll be behind on 1-1 upgrades. Where the engineering bay is at for TY, they're ready, he just needs the gas to start the upgrades, so he needs to get that 1-1 going. That is going to be one of the important parts of this, I think. Marine out up into the center. Cyclone coming around. That's going to be a lock on and a pick off on a Marine. So that'll go down. 2 medevacs from TY down the left. So TY really moving his way across the map here, as we do see. Yeah, Dream has a Marine here, a Marine there. TY with his own Marine fighting back a little bit. The medevac still boosting down the bottom. These refineries will finish up on the third base. Combat shields coming up from Dream on the tech lab as well, and Cyclone going to pick off a Marine too. LSCV's going down as TY gets in the main. He has stim of his own, of course, and there's nothing defensively here for Dream. That Raven's a juicy target, but it's very hard to get because obviously Dream can just pull back with it. TY gets the first siege tank that actually sieges up. Now another auto turret, and that's probably about it. As the units on the low ground there will intercept the exit path, so not bad from TY, but he loses a medevac. I mean, nice play from the Dream medevac to move over and to give him that vision. This medevac's going to try and unload, but then there's more Marines. He'll load up and boost away. TY doesn't have many Marines with this army now, which might be his issue. He also doesn't have combat shields, which is a missing upgrade. He also doesn't have 1-1, so actually TY is reliant on the siege tanks for damage. Which means it's exactly what I was just talking about. You don't want to be in the middle of the map getting caught off guard. If Dream wasn't chasing this drop on the bottom left so much, he would have had a great fight there. But obviously, TY is moving forwards because he knows Dream's army is chasing the previous drop that he set up as well. So, you know, we say that's somewhat fortunate. It's also his own fortune that he's created. Both of them continue to drop scans to try and identify just where the other is at, what's going on. TY now starts combat shields, needs to get going into the 2-2 as well though. Again, that upgrade lead from Dream, that's going to re-establish. It's about 30 seconds ahead. I think he cancelled the siege tank to start 2-2 faster because he did not have the gas for that about 10 seconds ago. Now there's those tanks setting up, and defensively TY across 3 bases, 4th base building. I mean, same for Dream, and overall there's slight differences here, right? But the end position is pretty similar. Moment, you know, for the current moment in time at least. Looking really good here as we do see the Marines coming through. They're going to get another Marine out on the map, and Dream all the way up the top side. SCP supply depot hanging out there as well, and the medevacs of Dream. They can go straight up to the top. Start to unload. Marines can get killed. Supply depot's going to go down. Supply gets supply blocked from this loss. But at the same time, rather lose a supply depot and get a bit supply blocked than, you know, have this entire drop go through into the main base without it being seen, right? So, nice to have those depots on the map, picking up some vision here and there. And yeah, here on Nightshade, we're really going to dance around and see what happens in our macro game. As the couple of units on the left from TY are going to get pushed back again. This is where you want to start. I mean, I love this. I always love the splitting of armies in TvT, because I always feel like you're just looking for positions to get into, right? And so it's always going to test your opponent. It's always going to give you some opportunities. Maybe not so much here, as we do see Vikings there to deny these drops. The tanks will be able to deny. Ooh, that's a good idea to Matrix, because that would be a lot of dead Marines if these 4 hadn't gotten out. If it wasn't for those 4 Marines, both of those medevacs die with all of those Marines in it. So that's a nice set of matrices from TY. It's just a split second too late. +3 attack now on the engineering base. Getting that started up, as we will see. A couple of Vikings going to be able to pick off a medevac. So TY's drop not doing so hard across the map either, and he has air control, so it's not really a big issue that Dream is kind of sat out the front. TY's already starting to move his 4th base down. He's going to just land it over there. A bit of a weird spot, right? But if you can catch his opponent off guard, you can get mining. We saw TY doing that against Deer earlier. He's obviously got a tendency for hitting expansions right now. Got a bit of a taste of them and kind of liked it. Dream pushing a bit further forwards in the center to the right side. Oh, that's a nice catch for TY. He's going to get the entire medevac and all those Marines drop. It's a really nice catch. Just completely outnumber your opponent. Wow, nice spot from Dream. I mean, it's a Marine that also watches for drops down here. The opponent on the base location. What a catch, really. I mean, you find that CC trying to hide itself out there. CC trying to be built up on the top side, but that's too many Marines from Dream. TY will have to back away this time. This little hit squad is not going to be as successful as it was on its first mission. Marines, tanks, Vikings up the right. We do see command center here from TY going to land up. You'll have to cancel this one on the top, so you will now just get the regular 4th location. Dream already has a 4th up in mining, mind you, so again, that map control is really paying off for him in terms of getting his other bases rolling. Tank's going to start sieging up. He's actually just going to leave it. I don't know why Dream's actually still pressing forwards. Like, those tanks are just going to massacre him. And ooh, now Dream's in a weird spot because now he's held off from moving back down this central position. If he can't move down the center here, how is he going to get across to defend his 3rd base? He has no tanks defensively at home. He's coming around the right-hand side, but it's a long way off. And obviously TY can siege up here and cut off this pathway. Oh, TY, well, he sees these tanks a bit far off, so he will let his opponent kind of get back into position there in the end. Maybe he's just a bit too afraid out of scans to track that army. If he knew that army was where it was, I think he sees these tanks in a bit more of a line here, and he just makes that dive towards the 3rd base, because there's nothing to really stop him. Liberators now will become a bit of a problem. TY actually have 5 Vikings each, and both a couple of Liberators, so TY is the one to run into tank shots initially there, then Dream will take a few shots. Dream runs into so many more tanks right though. There's just so many tanks in the background getting a lot done. As Liberator sieges, we'll see the tanks continue to take some hits. And now the army of Dream back out around the center again. Just bringing this round into the middle, scan again on top of those tanks. TY coming over. 2 more Thors on the way out of TY. And it's a big play on the bottom side. There's a lot of Marines. Can they overwhelm a planetary fortress? I don't see why not. What he's trying to do is stay out of sensor tower range. That's why he doesn't want to run through down the ramp. He might just want to drop, and he could drop by into the 3rd base instead of the 4th, just because it's a planetary. With only 2 medevacs and Marines, I'm not convinced about the numbers. He actually okay. He does okay. He's going to lose a medevac to the missile turret. Liberator coming up to try and harass Vikings immediately there. Good spotting from TY. Good awareness of the minimap. Well, he actually just lost both those medevacs. Didn't do anything. So TY, that drop was not successful at all. I mean, it's nice some mine time on the 4th base. He's going to lose his 5th base. And again, I mean, that's the 2nd time this base is up here. One time it got cancelled, now it got killed. And at the same time, Dream's 5th base is on the way up. And again, it just feels like in terms of map control, Dream gets a bit more done every now and then compared to TY. It just seems his map control seems to pay off a bit more than what TY's map control is paying off for. TY's map control, a drop that gets completely shut down. Dream kills a base. Yeah, it's this weird position of kind of right versus left when they're trying to attack top versus bottom. And so Dream, he's going to wander into a tank there, but then a couple of thoughts are somewhat exposed. Other tanks on the low ground. I mean, TY just has no support for this as the Marines will continue to stem in. Liberator gets picked off. Other units coming up. We'll see one medevac going to get picked up, but the SCV is going to pull in Vikings. Medevacs get picked away at here, and so we're seeing the Vikings will land. A couple more tanks going to be picked off as well. And more army of Dream coming through the center. TY has absolutely lost a lot in the last few moments. Dream was kind of right to go for that dive in. So Marines will continue to press forwards here. Tank's going to siege. Medevac's again picked away as well. And the Vikings get a couple more medevac kills, and that'll be GG. So Dream will pick up game number 1. We'll take this victory. Top right hand side, up 1-0, our red Terran player is Dream. Remember, he was the best Terran of 2015 for a while. Second place in back-to-back SSLs. Playing TY, our blue Terran bottom left. He's still one of the best Terrans today. Game 2 of the series. We get this ready to go. Let's see if your Dream gonna come around the corner here. You do see the barracks dropping down in the corner, so setting that up, getting that going. It's 2 racks opening from Dreams. We saw Inno doing this in Game 3 against TY. We didn't get to see it play out because Inno lost his first Reaper, so he never got to the 3 Reapers, which is meant to be the initial kind of positive step of this all. So let's see what happens this time around. Because TY looked, with the build he did in that game, looked like he was going to be in trouble dealing with it. Like, he should have taken a lot of damage from it, honestly. Max finishes, factory will begin. There's the Reaper from TY, so he's very quick to go into that factory. Let's watch to see what TY does on gas. He does pull out, so he is looking for the expansion. Good SCV scout, though. Oh no, he doesn't actually see the first barracks. Oh, so he doesn't see the first racks, actually. That's important, because now he doesn't realize it's 2 racks necessarily. Although he might wonder where the factory is, right? Oh no, because he's expecting to expand because it's 1 rack FE. Oh. Oh. Very interesting. There's a couple of Reapers start up here from Dream, getting those going. A third one will start shortly afterwards. Hellion from TY on the way up in the main. You do just see the Reaper of TY just pulling back up into the main base there, so Hellion on the way out. He is going to go second Reaper though, and that's a big difference compared to Reactor Tech Lab that he was doing before. So he should have units against this. The thing is, 3 Reapers have this certain power where they can actually kind of fight a Hellion. So a lot of this will still come down to control and setup here in the fight very shortly. Factory coming down in the main base. Again, that going as the Reaper up the left-hand side. 2 Reapers and a Hellion from TY gonna go moving forwards. Well, that may be problematic as well, but where's the other 2 Reapers from Dream? They're in the center, so when he sees these units show up, he's gonna pull back to defend. By then he's gonna have lost the 2 Marines. TY, by the way, just never went into the CC. He just built a starport across the map, so he's proxying. And he's going to keep building Reaper Hellion. But, I mean, he's proxying, he's going to keep building Reaper Hellion. Actually, maybe TY just wins this game, because Dream just lost already the first couple of... Well, he just lost his Reaper across the map. That was a really good grenade for doing. That actually probably saves this game for him. Because if these 2 Reapers kill these 2 Reapers, and then these units show up and there's a medevac dropping into the main, I mean... You can kind of see what the disaster is going to be, right? 2 Hellions and Reaper will load up again. Yeah, keeping those 2 Reapers alive from Dream probably just saved him from disaster. Because this was looking really bad after he lost a Reaper across the map, etc. too. 2 Hellions, Reaper up the top side. Going to come out top, and the Reaper and the Hellion just through the center. Starport going to go back towards the main as well, and the orbital command continue to build up here. Reapers and the Hellions pressing forwards, and Marine goes down. Again, going to see this orbital command continue to take a little bit more damage, so that's going to be hurting for a little while. And Dream a bit of back and forth at the moment. Medevac pops. Again, it's just been some difficulty getting up on that natural expansion, right? And so TY looking pretty good. The rest of these units pulling down the bottom left. So medevac coming down into the main. do you see the medevac TY gonna go up to the top right? See, Dream will get some damage done, but the question is how much will TY get done? TY even cancels a tech lab or so to be able to build a Hellion to help defend this. There's a lot of SCVs going down, so Dream's kind of doing a lot, but what will TY do across the map right here? That's going to be one of the big questions. The Cyclone from Dream defensively is massive for him. If you got two Marines coming down, Viking will land. I think Dream's going to hold. Wow. What is there? TY getting into great spots and then... Oh, that's crazy. Alright. Well. That's the Marines coming in. So Dream's been able to defend here. He's been able to make a hold. And now we're going to be seeing the couple of Hellions continue to come around the right-hand side. Marines continue to push on forwards. And the Raven continues to set up at the moment. A lot of units down through the center from Dream. Remember, TY is just a little behind the workers, but he is ahead of base, right? His third CC was building up. So, for Dream, you're still kind of looking to get something done here. He's got Stim. That's going to be the big difference. That's the tank sieged up. He will take a shot from a tank, though. Modern turret's going to hurt as well, and the tank actually going to go busy itself with Marines. Another tank shows up, too. There's now one tank here from TY, but obviously Dream has a new tank that just showed up as well. He needs to get this tank down, he needs to get it fighting, and he will get it down and fighting. TY's tank takes some heavy damage, SCVs will repair it, but now obviously this natural mineral line is in trouble, so Dream is able to get in range of this natural mineral line, and TY's army supply is really, really hurting. This is what Dream needs to maybe stop TY getting into too good a spot here. This tank is going to be taking a lot of damage as well. Is the repair good enough? It's not. SCV's moving forwards, and we see this Viking going to land. It has more health, so it actually is going to win that fight. But the Viking micro from the medevac from Dream is going to get the Viking kill. And Dream is still sending units across. As we do see, the Raven is going to get picked away at. Gets very low. A couple of Marines going to turn back around again. The siege tank going to get picked off too. Go down momentarily. TY is going to type GG, and Dream is going to take this 2-0. Number 3, it's starting with the proxy. TY across the map with the proxy racks. Now, Dream will scout with the SUV, so that's already moving across the map. Dream looking to get across, get into the base, and figure out, okay, well, there's no racks over here, so that should be a good start for him. The next step is to see what build he goes for blindly anyways. But it's a pretty fast SCV scout, so actually, he's going 1 gas, so he will be late on gas number 2. But he's going to get in here, and he should not build that CC, obviously. And then you get up there, you build the refinery number 2, and you use the rest of your minerals on bunkers. And that's exactly what he will do, so... yeah. Pulls across to the side, bunker starts. Bunker number 2, he'll get the factory in a moment as well. He needs to make sure not to delay the bunker at all. We'll finish the wall off as well, also important. SCV is going to be allowed to come in here. Oh, TY kind of wants to leave that SCV on the depot just so you can keep the depot down and give the Reaper an access point. And Marine will start. So, Rip Grenade is good there initially, trying to slow this down a little bit. SCV building the depot is likely to go down, but the Reaper from TY takes some shots. Now, the bunker position is good, and it's exactly the setup you need now to defend. So that SCV scout tells you everything about this, right? It tells you that it's coming, and that from there means, you know, you just have this series of bits and pieces you have to do as Dream to start defending against it. A couple of SCVs down. We're now going to see a starport in the main base. And the factory of TY back at home. So obviously we'll start to transition from this. He's even stopped building Reapers at just 3. So he realizes there's no potential for damage here. The sooner he cuts Reaper production, the sooner he can get his factory up. Now he's got the factory going, he will start 2 more Reapers. It's still nice to have a good Reaper count because your factory is delayed. You are very reliant on the Reapers defensively in the early stages. So you're very reliant on those initially, early on. So you see another Marine popping out. A couple of Reapers from TY, then still up the front as well. They're going to go hanging around. These couple of Reapers going to go back over. And again, 5 Reapers total. So that's just going to be the number you're going to sit on here. I like this from Dream. I mean, the Reapers of TY are kind of at home, but if they were further out on the map, that's even more damage than just this way. And then it pulls the Reapers back as well. Dream doesn't mind losing a Reaper. You know, look at home, he's got Hellions, etc. He's actually going to go for a Hellion Marine drop across the map. Obviously, the weak part of this is the fact that he sends one Marine back to go fight the barracks. The weak part of this is that you realize that, you know, if these Reapers you counterattack, you don't have much here. But what happens is this barracks scouts no units, so you realize they must be somewhere, and the Reapers go back home again from TY. So TY is really playing a good game in terms of just responding to what his opponent is doing, not overcommitting to any sort of certain scenarios or anything like that. And those Reapers from TY just continue to sit around in the main, and there is the barracks from TY. Taking a bit more damage as Marine going to push that around. So natural finishes. 3rd CC starts for Dream, so he's going to get into a faster 3rd base than TY will have. And he's obviously a bit late getting his natural into position. Ooh, if that barracks lands and blocks. Oh, that's so frustrating. Yeah, that's just annoying. That's just going to stop the CC. Well, what the CC can do is land and morph into an orbital still, so it's not the end of the world. It's just a slight delay. It is definitely a nuisance though. This medevac never committed, and Dream will send a few Hellions around the top side. He still has those. At some point you would imagine they're going to commit to a fight, or a drop or something. I think you have to do something at some stage of this, otherwise those Hellions are just worthless, right? So Hellions' best value time is now. Unless you're going to play mech, then maybe you can use them a bit, but even then, you know, Hellions and mech, they get sacrificed just as much as any other Hellions, so... yeah, the earlier you try and get damage done, the better, but obviously you don't want to just dive in for the sake of it. If there's no opportunity, there's no opportunity. Wait a bit longer. You know, considering it's Proxy Rax Reaper, there's very little loss this game. Just the Reaper that came across from Dream and a couple SCVs here and there. As Dream will load 4 Hellions into the medevac. Goes up the right-hand side. Now the Cyclone and the Raven coming through the center. So they are going to come through the middle and immediately going to run into some of these Reapers here. So first Reaper already going down. Raven's going to turn around as well. There's an armory dropping in. So TY is going to go for like a Hellbat attack or just mech in general. He's got a second factory coming up. He absolutely could turn this into like some sort of a... let's see what he does. Let's see what he does with the armory. I guess he doesn't have many Hellions just yet, so maybe not. I was kind of thinking maybe something like Hellbat timing. You know, you get like a bunch of Hellions up and you hit, and it can be very frustrating to deal with, actually. That's a great scout review, by the way. It gets us into armory building, so, you know, we'll talk about that for information. And you see, obviously, the kind of the setup from TY as well, so Dream really does know what's going on. In the end, it wasn't the most successful in terms of dealing damage. The Raven came in and dropped an auto turret 2, which forced SCVs away from the main. And now the gas from TY isn't mining properly, so it has done damage here, even if it's indirectly somewhat. So, yeah, now one too many workers on gas. So yeah, a little bit of damage done, but again, the scout that it's mech is just invaluable, right? Because now you can respond properly. Now you can say, okay, well, I know what I need to do here. I do this, this, and this. I do that, that, and that. And again, it's just the information you want to work with. Look at this. Tyrion's actually going to pull this CC away. I think he might be scared of like the Ravens and the Cyclones coming over and just getting a lock onto it. So he's just going to pull it away and play very safe, minimize any potential damage he could take in this game. It's pretty crazy. Raven around the top as you do see a couple of Hellions. We'll just run back in for a few more SCVs. It's the auto turret in the main that really gets a couple extra work, as this Raven is up to 3 kills. 2 of them just there. TY is just out the front. Breaking this is going to be hard as we see 3 Ravens into the main. It's going to be a massive auto turret. That's a dead stim pack, so suddenly Dream is playing bio without stim. These Ravens still have auto turrets. These SCVs are really backed into a corner there. I don't know where else they can run. Raven, another one from Dream, going to come across. It's TY. Can he get himself a kill with some of those Marines? That's going to be the next question. There's a couple of auto turrets still just going at it, and In the end, Dream's going to end up losing 12 workers while TY loses 7. The worker count's pretty evened out, 44 to 46. As we will see this orbital lifting up and backing away. He's in the main base from earlier in the game. Now Dream's actually going to have to come back home and drop Marines on top of those Reapers to try and clean them up. What is going on? It's actually getting crazy. Plus one vehicle weapons from the armory. Here comes Dream. Again, down through the center. All the way down, and well, further push. Problem is, he should have Stim by now, and he doesn't. Don't know what you can do with the push here. Remember that TY has Trickle Raven, so he has so much potential to shut down siege tanks, etc. Semi-combat shields on the way out. And Stim going to finish up shortly, so that's going to be done soon. The two medevacs of Dream all the way over the right side, and Dream just try and keep map control against this mech player who really has put the pressure on and put the hurt on. I don't think there's anything Dream can do here realistically to push or punish TY. Probably one of those scenarios where you just have to expand, and at some point make a play for air control. Can I just go from there? That's how those bio games generally work in TvT nowadays when they play against mech. It's very difficult to actually find like a proper little section of damage. So do you see drop for a natural though? I mean, he gets in for damage. He gets 10 workers. Okay, 12 and still a bit of bio getting some extra damage done. I mean, that really, what does that do? It evens up the worker count? Okay, so it's like Dream gets a couple worker lead again. Now still coming around over the right side. Hellions will run by, obviously. That's the issue you have as a bio player. These Hellions are just going to hit you again and again, all game long. And that really does never end. It's the sort of harassment that's so frustrating to deal with. Bio tank down the right. Dream. Stem a bit of bio forwards. Going to get a couple of Hellions. Tanks will fire. The rest of Dream's army around this top side too. Thinking about which way it wants to go in here. Base coming up as our Hellions will continue across through the center. Hellions running back, bio coming forwards, tank getting set up, a few more tanks coming through. You see the Macfield Accelerator upgrade coming in as well. A bit more bio coming down, the barracks take a bit more damage as well. Going after the racks, tanks will siege. Just gonna get picked off here, bio. Right side, Dream just trying to push forwards into this. Has at least gotten a fourth base up, so it's starting to take something of an advantage there. Something. This fourth base of TY is getting hit. Remember, this can't repair until it finishes, so TY is going to make the play to break it. Hellbat's dropping forwards, that's going to be scary, and well, Dream didn't have all of his army here, so no way he holds this position. So this will hang back for a moment too. Guys, I'm just going to be 1 second. I'll leave this on someone's else. Two medevacs coming around the bottom. This turret is going to go after the medevac, and it's going to take some damage. Out in the center then. TY is going to be pressing forward still. Coming up to the upper left, Hellbats to try and move into this. A few bio units coming across, and the CVs continue to drop down to 12 workers killed so far. Still moving around. All Ravens up in the skies. A couple of interference medicals dropping bio He's going to stim into this, and already quite a lot of damage being done. By units going in after the armory. I mean, TY just really come in across this, but now he's going to lose those last few tanks. That obviously gives a bit of chase potential, though a lot of what's left from TY is up in the skies. So a lot of what's left for him up in the skies is dropping the main. Well, that's going to have to lift, and ooh, could get on top of tank side. There's actually a couple more tanks there. Cyclones as well. Gonna lock on to get one tank, not quite. Now TY has a 4th base coming online. Now TY has a 5th base in position. And so that eco advantage potential for Dream is disappearing. And Dream is just trying to win this with pure bio, and I feel like the moment for that is really, really gone. We're going to be seeing the rest of the bio here coming around. A couple of Hellbats getting picked away at. Viking still moving over. Medivacs in the sky, and it just feels like TY has too much to be broken. And if you don't get broken here, you're in such a great position continuing on. Dream, he didn't tech into air units at all. He didn't go into Vikings or anything like that. You can see 3-3 upgrades coming through the Liberator from TY. Pushed all the way up to the top side. Marines and Marauders still on the way out, so getting those going. Tank, 2 more Medivacs. All of this still setting up and getting ready to go. Is down in the bottom left. Our orbital command going to come through, and that is going to be dropping in as well. So, Dream at least gets something that will keep his eco going. He's going to make a play in here. So those Hellbats are going to come dropping on top of this army a bit again. Auto turrets drop down the tank also. I mean, Dream's going to lose the siege tanks in this. He's going to lose the backbone of the damage. And these Ravens still flying in overhead. The bio unit's kiting away. Hellbats still dropping down. 3-3 upgrades coming in from Dream. Just going to be seeing him continuing over to the right. Planetary Fortress setting up as well, and just a few more Marines up top. And continue to move over to the side. Command center in the corner. Just a bit more bio just going to come up, and again, try and find openings, but again, what do you do to actually make an opening here? There's been a couple okay moments, but all of it just involves TY just cleaning up the army and still surviving with a good economy. And over time, TY's army just gets better and scarier and more powerful. I don't think there's anything in particular that can be done about this right now. This Hellbat drops down. And it does kind of feel... I mean, Dream has still got supply, don't get me wrong. It's just the later this game goes against mech, the better it is for the mech player. And the tougher it is for the bio to do something. And I just don't see the future of the game for Dream. I mean, he's getting another Viking or 2 now, plus 2 vehicle plating. So he's starting to contest air control. It's not like there's loads of Vikings in the sky from TY. Remember, they do already have plus 2 vehicle platings, so any fight will have to be in better numbers for Dream as well. Plus, those Ravens are still around, at least one of them. So that's going to be something Dream has to overcome. And that's the issue, there's just so many things he has to overcome here. So now Hellbats go dropping into his base, so they're going to be annoying. A few bio units will stim in, at least he doesn't take much damage, but of course, benefit for TY, he just lifts up and gets out of there. It doesn't cost him anything. Delays the CC building in the bottom left. I'm surprised Dream doesn't send a bit more over the Hellbat with that, because you're pretty scared, because you kind of want this to come up. You don't really want it to be cancelled. Hellbats win this fight over here. They drop on top, and now he's going to morph into Hellions to chase down the SCVs. Unfortunately for him, the bio reinforcements are in time, as Hellions will go down. And more army here from TY up the right side, and Dream trying to set up. Tier upgrades from Dream still coming through then, and getting that going. Couple extra starports on the way out. Fusion core will begin to build. It's taking a lot of damage here. In at the center, TY. In the middle of the map. And that's where Dream can look for that surround, but TY's got everything covered. Tanks up top, tanks to the right. Command center in the top right, and build a planetary fortress. try and drop into this here. This is it for Dream as he makes the play forwards. There was a nice little drop on the bottom. He has got a little bit of bio still coming through. He is going to be able to spread. Is it enough to take down these tanks? It's a really close fight again. The Vikings landing to keep the siege tanks alive that little bit longer. Everything helps here. Last few Marauders reinforcing showing up will kill the tanks off. And TY has his entire tank line count reset. Meanwhile, across the map, Liberator and Dream loses some economy again. Finally finishes this base in the bottom left. A couple of Marines get themselves some Viking kills, and every unit is being valuable right now. TY's low on gas, though. He has just got this base up top right. Not much you can do with 2 Marines. Over here, a little bit of bio might be able to pick away at that building command center at the very least. Looks like this entire army is kind of gathering over here to go and clean up a Liberator. Has to go and deal with that, send a couple of Marines around the side, loses one of them. That Liberator is super low HP, loses more SCVs. And SCV count's still okay. Dream is still just a tad ahead in supply. And maybe I've been overly negative. He's got double fusion core, he's building medevac upgrade, and advanced ballistic. I think that might be a mistake. Double fusion core, that is. Obviously medevac upgrade is something people seem to get, but only when they are done building Liberator range. Well, bio back through the center, tanks coming around. Vikings, Libs in the middle of the map, and scan on the bottom. Marauder's going to go in command center, being picked away at. So he's able to get that cancel. Like this drop, because obviously this planetary fortress can't protect itself from the back, so a few SCVs going down there. We have so many CCs just building all over the place. TY's maxed out again. Gotta say though, the tank count 14, it's decent. Just the pure bio from the Dream. It's impressive that he's taking such good fights for this long. I love this Liberator from Dream finally coming into harass. So finally it's TY that's taking some damage in terms of economy being lost, and also this mineral line drop does well. Now trying to catch the army as it rotates up to defend those positions. TY has quite an army of Vikings and Libs, so coming over to get rid of this medevac, so that will die. And Dream's trying to expand in a forward position too. 21 minutes of this TvT. We aren't going anywhere yet. Dream's still closing in on being maxed out. Rest of these tanks set up. Here comes the Bioforce of Dream. Over to the side, Liberator's going to come forwards. They're going to siege, and these 2 tanks will have to unsiege and back away. This is one of them. Everything else getting set up together here as well. Here we go, pressing through. CC will have to cancel. Dream has still got the army on the low ground in the center of the map that he's waiting to utilize. He's got a few units he's going to want to try and drop on top. Tanks now sieging, so that's going to become tougher and tougher. Unless he just goes and counterattacks, he's going to find some tanks on siege in the back. So he'll get a couple of those, but again, it's going to cost him a lot of the Marauders. TY will hold that topside position. TY is still struggling for gas. Needs to get these workers mining in the top right. Liberator disruption, and again, it's disrupting for more than just what was killed. The damage is still being seen, right now, as TY will send the orbital forward as he holds this top position. That's the base he can take. TY only trading 4,000 resources better off than what Dream is. It surprises me a little bit. I feel like Dream's had a lot of fights where he's lost a lot. He's also had those fights where he's cleaned up the tanks at the end, right? And, those tanks don't come cheaply as this base gets a little bit of damage. He's not going to get in the main base. He's going to go after the factories. Tanks over here trying to see what they can do as well. The units now already on the way in towards defending the main. And these vehicles, he has building plating as the upgrade. And it's actually so noticeable how much slower these CCs are going down and stuff than usual. That's crazy. Vehicle plating is such a good upgrade. It's genuinely surprising. Hey, TY just lost 17 more SCVs. When he has the command centers to rebuild all that, he's sending, nice play by Dream. Liberator's coming forwards now as obviously TY's pulling back all over the place. Tanks are getting picked away at here, and he is going to be losing a whole bunch of siege tanks to these Liberators. Hey, that's going to break this position, and that's just an orbital command here in the center, and now TY is going to lose tanks in the center as well. Dream with the plays all over the map, and he is finally going to catch TY properly on siege, rotating to defend, and he breaks this base at the same time. What a moment or two for Dream, who's firing down orbital commands all over the map, and a TY who is in much needed gas still hasn't fixed the top right gas scenario. He is only able to make Hellions right now, and very little else. Huge moment for Dream. As he does lose some workers of his own. It's a Liberator in the bottom left and 9. Some of his mind, a Liberator over here. They will go down though for TY. These Liberators as harassing units have been absolutely huge throughout this game. And that's still not changing. Libs, Vikings, Bio. All the way through the center. This is not a plan before us as well. Again, breaking down these bases over time is now finding, or now allowing Dream to find more and more weaknesses in the current setup of TY, who, we were talking about the tank camp before, it's now down to 8 tanks. Again, you've really, Dream's been really picking away at that. Losing this base up here. What's the resources lost like now? It's back to being almost even, so it becomes, again, a battle of who can trade a bit better and who can mine a bit more. But Dream also just has this base coming up, so he's now mining over here too, 52 to 56 workers. There we go, Bio gonna straighten forwards here, and tanks on siege going into this. The Liberators are gonna get siege up, the Thors are focusing down the Libs. Oh my god, Dream gets absolutely massacred in this fight. Problem here was he couldn't make his way through the Hellbats. So even though the tanks weren't even sieged up, the Hellbats just did, such a stopping force that the Bio force just gets stuck on them. TY is going to push this away, and after 25 minutes, I feel like we finally have a decisive advantage for one of these players. Dream just can't wake his way through these Hellbats anymore. Now his tank's on the front line, so he can't look to fight elsewhere. Thor's got rid of the Libs, and TY will continue to press through, and that's Dream's last army going down. It has been an uphill battle, and as he gets to the top, he gets punched back down, rolls down to the bottom again. He's losing this game. TY as he picks off these bases. He's just got so much left over. It really came down. I mean, look how bad that fight was. They were even in resources lost not even 2 minutes ago. That's how much Dream just lost. And I mean, again, it was just one bad fight, and that's all it was going to take here. He played an extremely impressive game from a very difficult position. Takes game number 3, and after that, starting up in the top left-hand side, our red Terran player, still obviously in the lead of the series, and really wanted to end it in 3 games. Our red Terran is Dream. Bottom right, our blue Terran is TY. TY in game number 4 of this, then what's he going to do as we get into this? Dream's going to go 2 racks opening again. So similar to the last game, at least in the early few moments. Oh, not the last game, but on Zen he did this. See what happens in this as we get this ready to roll. First SCV scouting down now. TY is going to scout down as well. No proxy racks from TY this game, of course. It's always the proxy racks Reaper games that can turn into the craziest, longest games. It's real crazy. So, 2 Reapers on the way out. CV. Gonna drop down depot. CV moving down the bottom right. So again, pulling away, and obviously TY's scout only tells him about 1 Rax, so the 2 Rax is a little bit unknown for at the moment. Dream does take a bop on a Reaper grenade, so just have to hold off a little bit. Let's continue to set up into this. Marines on the way out then. Obviously the 3 Reapers will gather up in the center. Very cloak from TY. He's on a 1-1. He's on like a 1-1-1 setup. Doesn't pull out a gas, so that's probably why. Obviously, Dream doesn't really want to commit in with the Reapers or anything. Kind of saw with the gas timing, etc. So yeah, he's just sitting back with the Reapers, and it's the right call because there's not really much to be done here with this sort of set of units out. So TY will later expand. The question is, how much can TY do with the Cloak Banshee? Dream keeps, because of T-Rex Reaper. There's no starport. There's no Raven early in the game. Cloak Banshee suddenly become very viable, so this is very possibly a reactionary play from TY in terms of what he's reacting with. So, Cloak coming up, Banshee in the center, and again, because it's Cloak Banshee on the way out, I like it, right? Usually Cloak Banshees are a bit dead in TvT. They still do okay, but the chance of running into a Raven is so high. What is this starport going to do? If this starport builds an add-on as well, we are in trouble for Dream. I mean, he's going to take so much damage. He's got engineering bay finishing. He has no scan NG at all. Reaper sees the Banshee if he was paying attention. But I don't think he was. Banshee cloaks up as soon as it can just to try and hide for as much as possible. There you go. Banshee shows up and there's no scan available for such a long time here. And now to a Reaper and a Hellion going to approach the front. I mean, they're not actually going to do that much. There's units there to defend those, but it's Banshee in the main. And look at the damage TY is going to do, right? I mean, 7 workers killed. Starport goes to a reactor now. Make your way towards some Vikings. He's actually going to build a medevac, maybe just going to look to counterattack. You're going to have to do masses of damage, though. I mean, we're about to have a scan, 50 energy kicking in. Obviously, first Banshee about to run out of energy. But even still, it's Marines, and a well-controlled Banshee against Marines should never really have any issues. Banshee number 2 from TY is staying at home because he can't quite believe how much he's doing with Banshee number 1. SCVs continue to drop. That's 16 workers killed. Now a Reaper in the main. Banshee will pop out a deal with that. I mean, this is damage that is, in terms of recovery is almost not an option. Medevac boosts is what's going to be needed in Stim. Oh my god, he forces a scan! No way! With the Banshee that was out of energy, it regained enough energy to force another scan. What? Oh my god, just a kick in the face for Dream after he's already being battered and bruised around. I mean, that is brutal. That is brutal. Alright, well, Medevac's loading up another Marine or 2. Marine's gonna come over, gonna start dropping down on the tank. Do you see the couple of Banshees gonna cloak up here? I mean, the attempt for Dream to do something has just been completely unsuccessful, and TY will top right side. Our red Terran player here is Dream. Has been on match point for 2 games now. Hasn't been able to make it work. The Cloak Banshee is an amazing response. So again, I'd just like to say again what TY did there. Cloak Banshee typically in TvT is not good right now. People use it now and again to mix it up, but typically because of the Raven, Cyclone openings, you don't get much done with it. When you know it's T-Rex Reaper, what you can do is go Cloak Banshee because the factory and starport are late. So obviously as the factory and the starport are late, you get into a bit of trouble. And then you just don't have them tools to defend against a Cloak Banshee properly. And that is the true weakness to a T-Rex Reaper opening there. Especially a T-Rex Reaper opening. I mean, for TY it was nice, because he also started with double gas opening, right? And he went 1-1-1 right away. So it was a very quick Cloak Banshee too. A very quick Cloak Banshee as well. So that's worth keeping in mind also. As you see SCVs starting to come across this game. Both teams, both players are going to go for one gas expand. So they're going to go for one gas expand. As the racks getting set to go. CV down to the natural of that CV from Dream coming across. Command's gonna dropping down in the natural here. So you see the factory dropping down as well. Reactor starting up from on the barracks. You're gonna see the CC coming into play and SCV production continuing through here. So nothing too much. Obviously, with the one racks expand, you actually just get into a pretty. You kind of skip the early game a little bit and go more towards the mid game already. You know, again, 2 bases up and running and stuff like that. So away we go with that. Get that ready to go. We're going to hop up into the main. As you do see the starport coming up, factory building a tech lab. Nice, I'm dropping down the natural. Starport going to lift up, going to move over to the tech lab. Factory coming through, dropping down tech lab as well. So you guys going to go Banshee. This is why I don't like Banshees, right? Because now there's a Raven and going to be probably a Cyclone. Guess you could go tank. This is why the Banshee shouldn't do anywhere near as much this time around. Couple Marine of Dream, couple Marines of Dream down through into the center. Almost 2 a.m. in Korea, and these guys going to the final game. $200 first place prize today. It's kind of sad because I feel like TY and Dream might be like, God, we don't want to play this again. It takes so long. We've just had this has actually been the longest Kung Fu Cup we've ever cast. I think it has been long. It really has been. So the first Banshee comes around the bottom side. Obviously, the play here is to try and avoid the Raven and try and kind of work your way into a couple of corners, a couple of bits and pieces. This is a map where TY likes to play mech and TvP, remember. See if he maybe thinks about playing mech here as well. Would be the first time in this series, of course, after that crazy game number 3 that we had. Starport finishes up a reactor. And the barracks builds a reactor as well up on the top side. Engineer and be able to start +1 attack. Stimpack coming through. Hyperflight Road just getting going as well. Reaper grabs the Marine and, well, so far so good. So you see this Banshee able to come around the top side. Cyclone's a bit out of position then, so there is a Raven in the main. You can either Matrix it to stop it fighting, or you can auto turret just to help, deal damage and push it away. So Raven currently decides to do nothing at all. Now the Banshee coming into the natural as well. 3 workers down. Now he's going to start fighting against some of these Marines. And the natural forces a scan, should get out of scan range. Cyclone lock-on should be cancelled. So able to pick up a few more kills with this Banshee. I mean, just picking up Marines at the moment. There's the Raven showing up. And those Ravens are zippy nowadays, aren't they? Cyclone lock-on. Raven. Oh, Raven turns away. Okay, it's still good enough. The other Banshee in the main runs out of cloak energy, so it will go down. TY does okay, puts himself in a worker lead. Hyperflight Rotors, he's going to play a mech style where he's going to keep building Banshees, right? So Banshee production should continue here for TY. We'll see if Dream has a continued proper defense against that. Armies through the middle as we do see the bunker building up. TY is actually trying to make himself safe on the third base that he wants to take. Third base, what's that? Says Dream. No third CC here. So Dream's getting real aggressive. Dream looking to break this real quick, real soon. Two Cyclones around up the top side. Here come our Marines, tanks. All setting up. Those tanks will siege. Widow Mine is already going to get picked off, so Widow Mine will go down. Two more factories on the way up from TY as well, so a couple of those still being added in, and again, our Banshees, now they have Hyperflight Rotors, they're nice and speedy. You can see that Dream decides to just go into a third base, but the Banshees are going to get across the map fast, so they're going to deny that third. That's not going to be allowed to get up here. What's over here? A few Marines there reinforcing. Right, that bunker is almost a scout, I guess, as we do see again. Banshee's coming up. TY doesn't have many tanks, has to stay pretty safe. He's got a couple more coming out now. Yeah, sees this third base, denies that, and boom, into the main. And guess what's here to defend? Nothing at all. Marine Pop Side goes down. Let's take that extra shot now, though, because of the combat shields. Like back here to heal, so it's something, but it's more SCVs and Dream. Now, third CC still not building. TY, how many times is he going to try and hide a base today? This is like the third game he's trying to just like put a base somewhere it shouldn't be. Hey, it worked on this map earlier. He's just picked a random corner too. There's the turret in the main and tanks the siege. There's no way you drop in there as Dream. The thing is, Dream kind of knows he needs to do something. He's lost 12 workers now. He's down by 16. Dream had such a good start to this series, but now TY has been that game 3. It's almost like it broke Dream. He came so close, he just couldn't make it work. And then the last couple of games really just haven't been the same sort of level from him. A lot of issues, a lot of failed defenses, a lot of openings that his opponent is taking full advantage of. As we do see the command center in the top left, he is going to finish soon, and at the very least, TY could drop his mules there, although he's not really dropping mules, he's scanning around the place. Dream back to building on third base. Obviously, supplies even out, but this is mech from TY, so Dream is kind of meant to be a bit ahead on supply, especially at this initial stage of this. Coming down the bottom. Got a pre-ignited Banshee coming up, a couple of tanks still producing. Dream coming in from the right side. Again, Orbital is dropping mules top left. I love it. Stim in. Barracks in some trouble again. Dream probably feels okay, right? Because Dream's probably like, man, you know, for all I've taken damage, I'm really stopping him getting to his third. Oh my god, anti-omnibus. Oh, Dream, no! Well, I feel like Dream was feeling good, and maybe now not so much. Tanks will unsiege and lift into those medevacs. There's not a lot of units to drop in the main with, actually. He's going to drop on top of this tank here, but the thing is the Banshees can chase into the main so easily. So he kills like a tank, and that's about it. He's actually going to keep the medevacs there. Because he's building Banshees, there's no proper anti-air, right? So you can't just shoot these medevacs down. So Dream's just going to sit here with the tanks and the medevacs. So he's going to drop in the mineral line and get some more kills. I mean, this is way harder to clean up than it should be. Now more of an army coming across, but TY has units on the third base. Yeah, and Dream lost so much in that fight. So you see these tanks starting to unload, and it kind of looks like Dream's just kind of giving up a little bit, kind of just going for it. Feels like once TY gets to third base, it's going to be a very difficult game to stop, because otherwise, why would you unload the tanks there? Why would you try and commit to that? It's a very difficult decision. Army from Dream back through the middle, going to take the watchtower. +1 vehicle weapons plane on the way up. Tanks from TY will siege. Armory from Dream and an engineer base. He's kind of going for it, but like, I just don't understand why you would have dropped the tanks out there when they're almost destined to die and didn't really do anything. TY leading in supply is His Banshee squad is going across the map and actually could intercept a few units there. There's a few different things they could do here or there. Oh, Viking gonna get some shots. Drop in the back of TY is natural. I mean, TY at this point surely has got to realize he needs some sort of anti-air to properly stop this, right? Like, these medevacs are so frustrating. Okay, well, they're all going to die now. Missile turrets and cyclones involved. See just some of those tanks to minimize the splash damage and doesn't lose any again. Time after time, attempt after attempt, Dream is doing really nothing. And TY is on 4 bases. Top left base is mining. The gas is going. You can see TY double scans. Just wants to see, okay, your 3rd base is up, your 4th base, not so much. Flies in here. Banshees, 2-shot attack. The Marauders are going to be in trouble. And getting a little bit surrounded. There's the Raven to provide some protection. She just chasing a Marauder or 2 down. Going to catch Marines as they stream on out. And TY is just, again, he's all over the place. He is all over the place right now. Back down to the bottom side. Away he goes. Tier 2 upgrade starting up from Dream. Army back around into the center here. We do see the cyclones coming up. Marine gonna get picked off, and we do see the +1 ship weapons on its way as well. Macfield Accelerator coming through. I mean, obviously TY continue to build up quite nicely here as Dream takes his way towards the watchtower. 2-2 on the engineering base in the main base. We do have the Orbital Commander TY in the top left is gonna be found. Oh my god, Dream. He's like, oh my god, SCVs, thank you. Oh, there goes TY's hidden 4th. It's only been mining for, I mean, some of these mineral patches are more than halfway mined out, right? It's been mining a long time, and TY's just gonna start pushing. And obviously, Dream is all over the place trying to, you know, set up defenses, pick off bases, etc. So that's not gonna help him out too much. And now these tanks have some problems because of the Banshees, so you can just see where the Banshees come into their own here, right? Able to pick off those tanks to their siege. And where is the defense of Dream? Where is the army? I can tell you one thing, it doesn't look like it's over here. A couple of autototes will drop down. I mean, TY just backs away from it. There's a bit of army showing up on the right, but TY is going to siege up the 3rd, and this was a little while coming. TY from 0-2 down to 3-2 victory. What a return around, what a comeback. Really nicely done. All right, GG's.